Hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna be doing a little video and about a very famous president who I extremely like and who I think should be in more of my videos, but you know, it's in this one. So, and the camera is kind of slow, so don't really worry about that. We're good now. So about FDR. So we're gonna be talking about FDR. I should have mentioned that first off, but still, we're talking about FDR today. On I know this is basically just reviewing my presentation. Anyway, I'll just get on with it. So, um, he graduated from Harvard, which is one of the best schools. It's in Boston, actually. I thought it was in Britain, but that that was a failure for me. So it's in Boston, peoples. So on some struggles and scandals that he had in office are like he had a polio disease, which basically limited his legs, which basically like immobilized his legs on, and he was actually one of the lucky ones because on most people die after on getting the polio disease. It's really sad, but I think we have a vaccine for it. I'm not sure. On Google on if we have a vaccine for polio. Anyway, on so he went down with polio, which on basically immobilized his legs, but he kept on going. He literally kept on going. So anyway, back on track. I'm sorry, this video is probably gonna take 5-10 minutes. I should probably keep going. So, did you know? Fun fact: he was one time in World War II. He was going to visit the British Prime Minister who was called Churchill. Yeah, Churchill. Yeah, I know that from a thing. Yeah, 10 out of 10. So he was going to meet Churchill and going to Britain, but he was on the battleship Iowa, right? It was a slow ship. It already got damaged from Pearl Harbor. It just got repaired. On and The U.S. destroyer, I forgot the name of the destroyer, on was conducting a test, just the test, just the test, and they were testing it. They didn't know the president was on the ship Iowa, so they tested it on Iowa, on battleship Iowa, and yeah, it went pretty bad. The on captain on Iowa just freaked out. Like, why was a destroyer? Why was our destroyer firing on us? Like, we have the president on board. Come on, you can't destroy our own president. So, luckily for that, on Iowa's crews had a strong reaction. I shouldn't say that. Had a quick reaction, and they avoided the torpedoes from the destroyer, and all was saved. So, yeah, 10 out of 10, And Churchill lived to see the other day. And you probably already know this, but I have to mention it because it's pretty cool. The fact that no other presidents have served for more than 2 terms. So this guy, I think he served for like 4 terms. I think, yeah, 4 terms. So yeah, he served for 4 terms. Isn't it amazing? The double amount of presidential terms that you're really allowed to serve. On So yeah, that's pretty amazing. Just And what you also really don't know about on Roosevelt was that, okay, this is really interesting. On Hold Up With Me. So when in World War I, on his wife Eleanor Roosevelt discovered that Roosevelt had a romantic affair with one of her secretaries, I think. Yeah, I think it was secretaries. I'm not sure. I'll correct myself later on. So on he had a secretary, a romance, I think, with a secretary. And then her wife, Eleanor, offered a divorce, like any normal people would do. And guess what? Guess what? Roosevelt declined, saying that he promised not to make the mistake again. But he unfortunately, my English, he unfortunately did not keep that promise. And I think it was like 3 years later when he broke the promise. And Eleanor offered of divorce again, but he wouldn't accept the divorce. He was like, I'm gonna keep going on. I'm not, I don't want to leave you. No, 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 no. So, yeah, that's what happened. I'll just take off my glasses because I look weird. Nope, not gonna do that. Can't see. Okay, so, yeah, basically. So, on another scandal, oh man, I'm so slow. So, another scandal that he faced in his presidency was on World War II. Now, President Roosevelt knew that he was getting himself into war because on the Japanese were acting suspicious, on the Germans were being like awful, and at that time, not this time. I love Germans right now; they're cool. So anyway, and I love Japanese too. They're cool. They're cool. So on yeah, they on President Roosevelt suffered through on a major difficulty throughout World War II because, as you know, the U.S. wasn't doing too hot on. The Allies weren't doing too hot, and at the beginning, at the really start of World War II, and basically all the confidence really drained from him. It was basically like Washington at the Battle of Trenton at that time, before the battle, at what happened, what was his troops like at the before the Battle of Trenton, on what they felt, all the mutiny, all the disease in the camp, and that's basically how Roosevelt felt on like before on the major turning points of the war, like the Battle of Midway, Guadalcanal, all those battles. On Roosevelt, yeah, he suffered a major difficulty through those times. And even before World War II ended, he didn't even get to see on World War II end. It was President Harry Truman that actually lived till the war ended. And yeah, and he was the one who dropped the atomic bombs that actually ended the war. On and I'm not sure if you want to hear this. This is how Roosevelt kind of sadly died. If you don't want to hear this, just leave the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. But now, if you haven't left the video, I'll tell you. So it all started as a normal morning. War was still on the. It was after D-Day. On the Japanese, the Germans were all falling back. They were dying. They're not dying. I shouldn't say that. They were being defeated everywhere. And it all started with a minor headache. A minor, which means a very little headache. And so Roosevelt got a little dizzy, said he wanted to sleep, said he wanted some rest. Really decent thing to do when you're like dizzy or like have a minor headache. But then it got serious. Like after a couple minutes, it got super serious that Roosevelt actually lost conscious, and he collapsed on the floor. His family started to call the doctor, but they didn't really reach them in time, and soon Roosevelt has died, basically. So, yeah, um, it's pretty sad. Our great president, on even before when the war ended, just like died, and he'll always be remembered in our memory. Thank you for watching this video, and hope you like it. And I'll see you next time. I won't see you next time. Just kidding. Yeah. Oh, what am I saying now? Okay. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you. Bye.